Greetings and salutations. Second Star right back with more Raid Shadow Legends. And as you can see on the screen here, we have the portal agitated with void energy because it is double summons event for void shards currently. And you know, I like double summons events, but I'm not too thrilled about void shard double summons events because I think they underperform for how much they are valued at. I just don't think that the 1% chance of a legendary for a void is enough, given the expense and how hard it is to get them, and the quality. Let's just say, because a lot of times we're stuck with rares and void rares. Aside from a few amazing examples of great void rares like Cold Heart, I'd even put Confessor in there. Confessor's fantastic. Fellhound. Outside of a few Bellower, fantastic. Outside of like a few core void rares, they don't really pull their weight. And it would, given the expense, I just don't think that the value is there. Unfortunately, I really think they should bump up the chances of void legendaries because a lot of void legendaries are absolutely amazing. They're just really hard to get your hands on, right? And then, of course, there's always Madame Saris. If we're going to be talking about void epics, still, you know, we're coming up on our third Halloween. All right, it's October. Is it October? No, it's September. We're coming up on October, and I still had my third Halloween with no Madame Saris, and that's I don't know why RNGesus is frowning upon me in such a manner, but Madame Saris is still out of my possession. So let's just dive in and see what happens with the 16 void shards. I will also try to log into my Porcupine Racetrack free-to-play account, free-to-play account, and see what happens there too. And I'm not going to do the 10 summons because that just seems conspicuously consumptive. So I'm gonna not do that. Right, I'm not in the 1%. Oh, and an epic right off the bat, and it is Skullcrown, who is awesome. I already have a Skullcrown or two, and several of her sisters, Tanesha. But a really good arena nuker. If you haven't gotten your hands on a Skullcrown and you happen to get one at any time, definitely invest in Skullcrown if you're having problems with your arena team. In fact, there's one of the fusion events a year or two ago when I first got Skullcrown. I had her at 5 stars because I didn't really play arena much, but I needed to play arena to get the fragments, and so I 6-starred my Skullcrown just so I could finish the event in time because I was struggling in arena and she turned things around for me. So a very good champion. And next up we have a rare who is actually seeing a resurgence in Daywalker because people have discovered that he's a great hegemon hedge, shall we say. His ability to revive and then attack after being revived. When you have a team of Daywalkers and you're against the Hegemon nuke, it takes out the Hegemon as a response, and it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. I don't know if it's a good use of resources, but if you have 6 stars to burn, making an anti-Hegemon Daywalker team is kind of funny. There are worse things you can do. Oh, well, that's odd. Another epic. Paige, fantastic champion. Really, really nice epic. I wanted her when I first started playing because it seemed like she would fit into my playstyle, but by the time I drew her initially, I was kind of past that point and I wasn't making teams in that manner anymore, but still really good. She has a decreased attack on her A1, which is nice, and the damage is interesting. It's based on attack and defense. So if you have those weird artifacts that because a lot of times you want to balance, you don't want to balance your defense and your attack stats. You want either one or the other depending on what your champion's doing. And since she's a defense-based champion, usually you can just kind of ignore the attack stats for the most part. But her skills operate a little bit differently, whereas defense and attack-based. So that's interesting. You might want to hang on to some of the armor that has both those stats, or if you have them in your inventory and you draw a Paige, you can throw them on her because she'll actually benefit from those as opposed to some other champions that would not. An AoE A2 with a decreased accuracy, and then removes all buffs from the target and places them on this champion. So it's really good A3 buff steal, which is nice. Okay, and it's with attack too. It's not just a buff steal; it attacks and then steals the buffs. So it's kind of cool. All right, next up we have rare, and it is the Marquee. Marquee de Sade? I don't know. Possibly. You think Marquee de Sade would be legendary though, so it's probably just a regular old, low level Marquee. And we won't. He's not great of a champion, so we're just gonna move on. Okay, again, one of those rares that serves very little purpose, except maybe if you're first starting out in Spider, because he has a turn meter reduction on his A3, but it's on a 4-turn cooldown, so really, Stitch Beast doesn't really have a whole lot of use in the game, to be honest. Malbranch or Malbranch, I don't know how to pronounce that, but I did build one for a bomb team. She's all right. So she has counterattack too, I think, which is kind of cool. Yeah, she's a counterattack, a self counterattack on a 4-turn cooldown. She's fine. She's fine. You can do worse, but you can definitely do better. Okay, and we have Kurzad Deepart. He's one of the newer dwarves. I'm not really familiar with him. I've had him in my inventory though before, and I wasn't impressed. So let's see. Extra hit if it's critical. Decreased speed, and AoE that, if ascended, fills the champion's turn meter. This champion's turn meter by 7.5% for each crit. So I guess potentially that could be a good skill. You can probably get an extra hit on your A1. you can fill up your turn meter, trigger A1 again. You can potentially get a lot of hits out of that, I guess. Increase accuracy buff on allies for 2 turns, then attacks all enemies. Decrease defense. He's fine. I guess maybe if you get him early, he might be fun to play around with. Put him in a crit build, see what happens. But other than that, no dice. Paige Smith looks exactly like the guy we just drew. They could be twins. Really just about the same model here. Paige Smith is a revive killer. He blocks revive. Does a decent amount of damage. I did build him for a video. If you want to check that out, it's on the channel, but it's really... if you're desperate for a block revive, he's a rare that does it. So it's fine. It's fine. All right, next up, another rare, and this is Dagger. Dagger is, if I recall correctly, she's a pretty decent Fire Knight rare. 2-hit A1, decreased defense AoE on A2, and decreased attack for 2 turns. Decreased attack is maybe I'm mistaken. I don't know what she does well. Does she have the passive that does anything? An aura? No. In my mind, I remember Dagger being better than this, but perhaps not. May decrease accuracy, decrease defense, decreases the target's turn meter. Oh, it's turn meter decrease by 4%. That's yeah, she's okay. I wouldn't get my britches in a knot if I have a Dagger in my possession. And then Fanatic. Let's see what Fanatic does. Anything interesting? Decreased defense, but 2 more debuffs. 2 random buffs to a champion from this champion to the target, or increase attack on all allies and removes 1 random buff from each ally. Fine. Again, if it's early champion build, that's fine, but late game, not going to do you any good. Paige Smith, part 2. I don't think we need to repeat ourselves on Paige Smith now, do we? And, another epic, and it is Faceless, who has a really nice nuke. I'm a big fan of attacks that ignore defense, and he does this. He does a lot of actually really good attacks. Extra hit on his A1. I'm a big fan of extra hitting. Increase crit rate for 2 turns, then attacks an enemy, and then ignores shield and block damage buffs as well as defense. So it's kind of like a pure damage A3, which is cool. I didn't build mine though, however, because I had a Baron, so Faceless was kind of redundant. So I did not build Faceless because I had Baron, which kind of does the same thing on his hidden skill, where it blocks all shields and defense, and even unkillable, I believe. Okay, and we have Huntress, who, when Huntress first came out about 2 years ago, was a good addition to the Lizardmen because he had a revive, and I guess the only other revive option was the one you got from the... I don't even think they had the fusion available yet for the 2 ally revive Lizardman, whose name escapes me at the moment. But he's a fusion now that so anyone can build him when you first start out, which is actually good. A lot of people don't give that champion, who for some reason I'm just not Remembering the name of, let's take a look. Is it Fragment something? Is it Fusion? I think it's Fusion. What is his name? Broadmaw. Thank you. Everyone's thinking, second Zar's Broadmaw, come on! But no recollection. Broadmaw is actually early game is a good champion to have. So, not that I can remember his name, but he's actually on my Lizard Man Faction Wars team right now. Because, sometimes you just need a reviver in Faction Wars sometimes. Okay, let's go back to summoning some shards. We got 3 left. Let's see if we get anything good. Still no Madame Saris. I can't help but notice that Madame Saris is not gracing me with her presence. I guess the restraining order is still in effect. Okay, Eviscerator, who I like. I like Eviscerator. Every once in a while I run into one in an arena. An old school one, probably someone doesn't play anymore. But a well-built Eviscerator is actually kind of cool because it does get some extra attacks thrown in when anyone heals, the other team heals, receives a buff. So it's kind of a cool response mechanism. Okay, and we have Huntress. Every time I draw Huntress, I say, "Oh, I like her headdress," because that's really the only thing to like about Huntress. Because a small chance of A1 stun, a non-AOE A2, which is a weaken, and then increased crit buff and increased attack on this champion. So again, not a very good rare. I mean, there's no AOE anything. Is only take care of herself. It's a very selfish champion for being a rare, so I'm not too thrilled with Huntress. Okay, so that is that account. Well, let's exit this one. Let's go into Porcupine Racetrack and see if I can't. I have some shards there, and let's see if we can't draw something good there. All right, so logging in. Hopefully this won't take too long. I'm on my slow computer. I should really switch all of this over to my new one, but old habits die hard. Am I right? It's like, oh, I have to recable things? I don't want to do that. Change the way I'm facing? Oh, the thought. The effort. I can't fathom it. I don't have time for this. As it is, I barely make one video a week. Alright, so let's see here. Alright, so we have 6 shards over on Porcupine Racetrack, my freer to play account, and let's see what we have here. Now watch me get a Saris on this account. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? Alright, Panthera. Okay, maybe this was I keep thinking that there are fine art champions out there. I think this is the one. Yes, 3-turn attack on the A1. In each crit has a 50% of decreasing the target's turn meter by 3%. This is a much better choice than Dagger as a Fire Knight rare. If you want to tackle Fire Knight in your early game and you only have rares, Panthera is a good choice to do so. Also a heal reduction, because you need these. You need 3 hit or multiple hit A1s. You need to reduce the turn meter on the Fire Knight. You need to block the heal on the Fire Knight. And then the prevalent reflect damage. Reflect damage works fantastic on the Fire Knight too. So really, really good Fire Knight rare. Okay. And is this Fellhound? Yeah, Fellhound. Great champion. AoE, A1, reflect damage, block damage. Just good all around champion. I'm a big fan of the Fellhound. Oh, and an epic. Let's see who it is. Oh, it's Battle Sage, who's awesome. I have a Battle Sage on this account, unfortunately, but she's a really good anti-Torment arena champion too. And if you run into Torment on what is it, Doom Tower, you'll see Torment will pop up in Doom Tower once too. And Battle Sage is a good counter to Doom Tower. Not only with a nice, you can put her in a stun set. You got a nice AoE A1, increase attacks, and then removes all debuffs, and then also has a revive on death on a 4-turn cooldown, and a speed aura. So all battles. It's an all battles speed aura. So Battle Sage is a really good addition to just about any team. Battle Sage is really good, especially early on. Get Battle Sage early, and you're good to go. Reliquary Tender, another really good champion. I remember when she first came out, Stu was like, why don't you make her the first free champion instead of Shaman, because she's a much better champion than Shaman is. Let's be honest. Decreased attack, A1, removes all debuffs, and then continuous heal, and then a revive, and fills turn meter. Really really good champion, and yes, would be a much better choice than Shaman. Let's be honest, for new accounts. And actually, she's in my Faction Wars team. She was key to 21. So, oh my gosh, speak of the devil. Mention his name, and he shall appear. Here is Broadmaw, who I don't need. But again, a really good, solid champion when you're first starting out. I'm not starting out. This is my 3rd year playing, and I do not need Broadmaw. But maybe I don't have a Broadmaw built on this account. I don't remember. I don't remember. Regardless, I could have fused it, and to have a Void Epic come up as a duplicate is never a fun thing because Void Shards. And a rare, and it is Retainer, who is not great. There's another version of the champion, the Warden, who was a good champion. Retainer, same skin, not as good a champion. That's okay. That's all right. I'm fine with that. I'm fine. Are you fine? Are we good? Are we good here? Are we good here? No Madam Saris? Not a surprise at all to me. Every once in a while I'll do those, summon simulators, and I always get a Madam Saris. So maybe I should stop doing the simulators and just understand that this is my lot in life to be Sarisless. But that's okay. Thank you guys. I want to thank you on your journey, coming with me and hanging out with me while we draw shards. That's really all this is. I just like talking, and this gives me an opportunity to do so uninterrupted, which I appreciate. So if you guys enjoyed it, please subscribe, throw me a like, comment down below how you feel about Void Shards and how you did your Void Summons. I'm always interested to hear it, especially if you got a Madam Saris. Please rub it in my face, because I enjoyed the abuse. Thank you guys again. I really appreciate your coming in, stopping by, and I hope you guys have a good weekend, and I'll see you next time. Oh, I'm doing, I have Gerhard the Stone or Loris the Proud videos to put out. I don't know if you guys have a preference of what to see first or at all, but let me know in the comments, and we'll see what we can do. All right, thanks guys, take care, and I'm out. Bye.